Hey everybody, this is Jason doing another rookie card video. So this is going to be primarily 80s and 90s, so junk era rookie cards, or at least cards that were in their rookie year or close to it. I know I've mentioned this a dozen times, and as has a lot of people, that what are true rookie cards and what are not. But I'm just, for all practical purpose of not getting into that never-ending battle or discussion, I'm just going to say these are the ones that are rookie cards, at least in my eyes. And so, with that being said, I have the Will Clark Donruss, the rookies. This is a cool card. I remember getting this card. I believe this is, what, 86? Yeah, 86. So, yeah, I remember a lot of these cards in the mid to late 80s are like my wheelhouse. You know, those are the cards that I remember growing up trying to chase and collect and begging my dad, like, Dad, please, can I have $1 for another pack? Or, you know, working hard, taking out the garbage or cleaning up the kitchen or whatever my jobs were. What's the word I'm looking for? My chores. There we go, chores. As my dad always would say, my mom would like, we always had indentured servants, and that's how they treated us as children. But it worked out because they paid us, and so I'd run off and get cool baseball cards. Here's the next one. Here is Andres Galarraga. I love this card. I remember this card as well. I always thought it was super cool. Most of the cards I have, as I would think most people would assume as well, are as mint condition as I can find or get them. Sometimes I'll come across doubles or triples at shows, or I'll get a couple more to make doubles or triples and see which one has the best condition, because we all know these cards aren't really worth a whole lot, especially raw. So here's a Mike Sweeney Bowman's Best. I believe this is 93, is that right? Oh, 96. I had heard just recently, I forgot, one of the YouTubers I follow said this might be, it might be Nate from Baseball Card Junkies, and anyways, that this might be his favorite 1990 set. I could be wrong, but here's a Torrey Hunter rookie card. Torrey Hunter. Sorry guys about the glare, but I am trying my personal best. Alright guys, here is Mark McGwire. Needs no introduction. And as a lot of you all know, I'm not a big fan of, you know, McGwire and modern day, but when I was a kid growing up, you know, Mark McGwire was awesome. You know, like every kid was chasing this card. It was 85, right? 85, right? Yep, 85, I just want to make sure. Everybody was chasing this card hardcore, you know, and it's kind of sad because it kind of takes, at least for me, I know for a lot of you other guys don't feel the same, and that's fine. That's what makes this hobby wonderful. But it tainted, you know, his legacy in my mind. You know, him and all those guys, and you'll hear me mention it, I'm sure, throughout videos as we go along in life. But it has kind of unfortunately bothered me, and it really, I still collect the rookie cards or maybe some significant cards early on, but I definitely don't collect them as my PC anymore for that very reason. Then we got the Fernando Valenzuela. Remember Fernando Mania? It was awesome. So this is really cool. I love this Fernando Valenzuela. Now, I know a lot of you all probably know this already, but if you look at the bottom of the card, they actually don't have it spelled correctly. They left off the O in Fernando. Let me try to straighten that out a little bit. There you go. So that's always been I didn't even notice that till years later. Here's another Fernando Valenzuela along with Mike Scioscia rookie card. So I am trying to do better with like not making them so shaky. I know my setup, I do this setup on like a Kindle. I know it's shocking that I don't have, you know, you all probably thought it was like, you know, a $2,000 camera operation I got going on here with lighting and everything. But I have recently came across one of Sports Card Junkies or Baseball Card Junkies website or videos, And even though I was already doing most of the things they were saying, the one thing they did mention, and I am trying to do better at, and I thought I was, but is making sure when you do put the card in front, if you don't have good lighting and things like that, which I really do not. I'm in my bedroom, here. I know I'm breaking the third wall or whatever, like really just like being like upfront and honest. But anyways, with that being said, I don't the lighting, so the quality of the card I'm showing sometimes might get kind of hard to see, to say, for lack of a better word. So I am trying to do a little bit better with being steady with the card and showing it. Like that John Smoltz baby rookie card. Oh my gosh. 1989. Man, that was a fun year for Billy Ripken. Another John Smoltz. Smoltzy. One of my friends from church, and a church league here that my son's involved in with basketball, they went to Cleveland last year. They went to this restaurant, and I guess it was John Smoltz was doing the commentary for that baseball game for MLB Network. And they were in this restaurant, and John Smoltz was just sitting there chilling, eating, and they had a really good experience. They went up to him afterwards and asked him for an autograph, and they said John Smoltz was a absolute class act. So that was really good to hear. I've heard other people say John Smoltz has been a really great guy. So I'm just showing off these John Smoltz. Look at all these John Smoltz. I've got so many John Smoltz. It's going crazy. Oh, I do have the Topps John Smoltz. John Smoltz. Am I missing any Smoltz, guys? I think I am. Maybe I'm missing a Bowman and a Donruss, it looks like. No, I got the Donruss. So Bowman. Am I missing any others? I got the Score. I got the Donruss. I got the Topps, and I got the Fleer. So, Bowman, am I missing anything else? Now, we all know Chris Sabo isn't a card that most people are going to collect, or a rookie card. But, man, I'm a Cincinnati Reds fan, and Chris Sabo was tenacious. And here's his Topps traded card that my buddy Matt traded me. And I love this. I don't think I ever owned this card. And if I did, I don't remember. Love this Topps traded card. Love it. So there it is. Another player I really respected a lot, I think a lot of us did, is Jim Abbott. Without going into all the details that probably most of us know, Jim Abbott was born with, I believe, missing his right hand, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. He throws left, so obviously, that goes without saying. But he is an amazing story just about what he can do with the baseball and the kind of just like career he had in the major leagues. Obviously, having missing his right arm, obviously you would think most people would need both arms and hands. And Jim Abbott showed with class and elegance that you did not need that necessarily. And it was just awesome. I totally respect this man. And I remember being a kid just being blown away by it. And I think hopefully he's, some people now he's kind of fallen out, obviously, of the limelight. He hasn't played in 20 years, maybe 15 years. So, it's probably not as in the forefront. But I really think that's somebody that we should be telling our kids about. He overcame adversity with his, disability, if you want to call it that, because he definitely didn't treat it as such. I mean, he did more with one hand than I could do, and probably most people in the United States could do. So when it comes to that, I mean, you go to that far level of the show and get there, hats off to him. I totally respect the man. Roberto Alomar, he doesn't get much hobby love, and I'm not even going to lie and be like, oh yeah, I give him a lot of hobby love. I'm not a big fan of him. Juan Gonzalez, I didn't really mention him, but Juan, we all know about Juan. He won't make it to the Hall probably. Roberto Alomar will or has, but doesn't get much love. And then we got Denny Martinez. I love Denny Martinez. He was super cool. I always thought he just had a really cool name. He always rocked, not this card here, but later on in the late 70s and throughout the 80s, he's rocking the thick black mustache. Totally stashing it up. Loved it. All right, we got the Wally Joyner, one of the coolest names in baseball. And this is his updated Fleer card. Love some Wally. Larry Walker, I think there's a lot of discussion about this Canadian finally making it into the Hall of Fame, hopefully soon, maybe this coming year. I know a lot of people say that their argument is that he wouldn't have made it if he wasn't, playing the Colorado Rockies, and that's where he got most of his home runs. If I'm not mistaken, that is the argument. I just enjoy Larry Walker just being a boss ball player. I mean, he didn't play the entire time with the Rockies. He obviously played with the Expos for quite a few years as well, if I'm not mistaken. But, people, they get real hung up on that. Kevin Mitchell was another staple in the 80s and early 90s. And then I got a quadruple Brett Saberhagen's. So, as you all know, sometimes he's like top loaders, yellow. And since we're talking about a car that's maybe 50 cents if I'm lucky, raw, I'm not too concerned with the way it looks on the outside. Obviously, these cards are in fantastic shape, and that's all that matters. I probably need to stop being some poor schmuck and just bust out and go buy some extra top loaders and update. But, I'll probably get around to it. Hey, man, hobby baseball card fan on a budget over here. Frank Viola, awesome. Frankie Frank. And now in the last card with a monster from the 80s, Dwight Doc Gooden. Man, let's look at the way he looks. Let's take a gander at the way this man looks. If you just see that man staring back at you on the pitcher's mound, would you not be intimidated? I know I'm intimidated, and this is a baseball card. I mean, he was throwing 6, 7 miles an hour consistently. I mean, oh my gosh, he would die. I wouldn't even want to get into the batter's box. I would probably just go and sit down on the bench and say, "Next, please. I do not want to take a chance of getting hit or anything." So, anyways, Dwight Gooden, classy 1980 5, right? 85 card. Anyways, guys, that's another rookie card show-off video. Hope you enjoyed it. Like, subscribe, comment, share with your family and friends. Tell your mom about it. I would greatly appreciate it. And thanks again for being a part of my experience here. Take care and have a good rest of your collecting days.